Hello Amazon shoppers. Hopefully I can fit everything I want to say into the time frame available. So I have a little smartwatch here. It's the U8, and for the price you pay, it's really impressive actually. Instructions are both in Chinese and in English, and that would be a notification for some other reviews. And you'll probably hear that at least one more time, most likely. So anyway, it comes with a little protector. That was the little screen protector that was on the watch. It has a couple QR codes on the instructions, and it does have some on the watch. I'll be honest with you, I think you're better off just going and getting a program called Smartwear, I believe is the name. Yeah, Smartwear. I found that it works really, really well, and I haven't observed any major issues as far as battery drain on my phone or any kind of problem with it running. A lot of the apps that were recommended and several that I tried, I think I tried like 5 or 6 different apps. Several of the ones, especially the ones recommended here, did not work. I have Lollipop on this. With the older version of Android, it probably would work, but Lollipop, there's some issues apparently, and it would constantly give me a message. It would actually be down in the bottom. In the bottom of the screen, it would just come up and say, like, you know, app crash or something. I don't remember the exact terminology at the moment. I think I typed it in the actual text portion, but by any means, it was problematic, and this program is not. So a real quick look. Well, it's already running, so let's just open. You basically have U8 connected. You have skin, applications, notifications. So you can actually go through and choose the applications that can communicate. Take a few seconds to load here. So I charged this fully. It only took a few hours to charge it completely, and then I played with it for another hour or so after and took pictures with it, played music with it. It's not going to win any awards for music playback, but it's actually pretty impressive, the sound quality. I then shut it off and left it shut off for, I think, about 24 hours. During that time, there's a feature on this that lets you be reminded to like get up and move around like you're sitting in front of a desk or whatever. I left that turned on so it would kick itself off and on throughout the day at those specified intervals, and in doing so, it woke the watch up even when it was asleep and gave me that indicator, then asked me would I like to turn the watch on, which I said no. So in a 24-hour period, basically it sat with nothing but those type of alerts triggering the device. After that time, I turned the watch back on and played around with it a little bit with notifications. Basically, it kept kicking on all the time because I was away for a while, and like that, which is a notification of an email. I can view that, and I can slide back and forth to review the different, and there's a little thing up here, 3 of 5 notifications. So, and go back, and there's your main screen, of course, there. I do have it in power save mode. I don't really know how significant that difference is from regular mode, but you can see the volumes turned to max. The Bluetooth is connected to my M8, and then you have your settings, anti-loss. When you walk a certain range, this thing will disconnect, but it will alert you beforehand. You have ringtone availability, power saving options. The settings, you have settings for sound, clock, the actual application that you're going to be connected to a degree, battery life, Bluetooth, and if we look at the battery, after another 12 hours of being powered on, well, actually closer to 18 hours now, I've only went down 1 bar. So, I mean, unless you're keeping the screen lit up like constantly, mine has a 15-second timeout that I set. You can change visibility, Bluetooth name, power, settings for Bluetooth. It takes a while to get used to the actual touch screen because it is pretty sensitive. The band is very comfortable, nice, you know, rubber silicone type feel to it. So I mean, it's not like amazing, but for the price, it's really impressive. You have a speaker, a little charging port, your main power button, And then of course you have your little 3 buttons you're typically going to see with your Android, which is like your menu button, and you can scroll through the different applications available, and then you have your back button. So you have, let's see what else, ringtone. You have a barometer, an altimeter, a pedometer, stopwatch. All of these I've played with, and I don't know if the pedometer really works a lot. I just had surgery. I can't really move around a whole lot to test. The altimeter is sensitive, the barometer is showing. Stopwatch works fine. Of course, Bluetooth phone books works fine. The dialer works well. Messages, you can read your messages. Obviously, you can't reply, or I can't reply with that. You have your calls, your BT notice, which is basically the notification that you can scroll between at the top. And there's 5 of 5, and then back. BT Music, I can actually play and pause music. I use the music app on my phone and Amazon Music, no problem. BT Camera, launched that, and the camera on here, I'm able to take pictures. I do not get a real-time preview, but that's probably related to the SmartWear app, but that's not a problem, simply because that app works, others don't. You have alarms, calculator, calendar, all of those work really well. And there's another, cancel. Another reminder. Alright, so sleep monitor, you can actually do that. If you do this for a very short period, it'll tell you not enough sleep. I'm going to play with this more just out of curiosity more than anything. And then you have drink and rest. The drink, of course, is a periodic reminder. It shows you the icon, and it gives you specified intervals of time that you can choose. And you just simply touch the drop, turn it blue. That becomes active. It'll alarm at that time and say, hey, go get something to drink, which I could use right now, actually. Apologize for my voice, a little cracky. Rest, same thing. You have the get up away from your keyboard at different intervals. I have that set 11:30, 3:30, 6:30, 9:30. So, and if you swipe down from the top, it'll take you back to the previous. You have a little indicator up here that the reminder is active. You have your PM, your battery indicator, your Bluetooth symbol, your time, your day and date, being the day of. The numerical representation of the day and the month itself, and then we're back to the main screen with the different apps. So everything on this works really well. If you hold this button down, it'll say goodbye. If you hold it down again, it'll power on and say welcome. But overall, I mean, it works really, really well. I like the SmartWear. Battery life seems to be really good. Like I said, I mean, I've ran it from a full charge, and I had it running sort of in a sleep mode with power saving on for a pretty long duration, as I noted earlier, and then powered on and actually in use and alerting. So as far as the actual applications, like I said, you can play around with those. Notifications, that was what I meant when I said you could choose the app. You could choose which apps are able to be notified or communicate, and you can turn those off and on depending upon how you want. You can see some are on and some are off. And then there's system apps as well as personal apps. So you can play around with that. You have the alert, which is on. Firmware update, I didn't manage to get an update. It says current firmware is error, so hopefully they'll fix whatever that is. And then it has switch mode, SPP. Honestly, I'm not 100% certain what that is. I haven't had any problems with the device, so I'm not messing with it. And like I said, if you touch the actual icon, you'll see the status. On mine, I don't know if you can see it really well, but it says connected. So anyway, the app is really easy to use. A little icon there, and it will give you SmartWear, smart device connected, and it does connect and reconnect very quickly and very easily. You will get an alert on this for different things like connections, charging completed. It'll be a menu on the screen, or a dialogue on the screen that notes that. And there's another email coming in from a contact I made earlier. So basically I get the title, the time, and the date. I don't really get any more. I can delete, block, or empty. So I can empty the alerts. I can block that application and that notification, or I can delete that notification if I don't want it to be there. I just leave it there. It doesn't really matter. I'll clear them out eventually if the need arises. But I find it to be overall comfortable to wear because of the soft band. Doesn't pinch, squeeze. Typically that's what happens with a metal band. So There is a reset button on the back. I did press that at one point, trying to set some things up. It does come with a charging cable, which I use my own, and it comes with this, I'm not sure what it is exactly, but this little tool. I suppose that if you had to pry the back of this off, this would be what this is for. It's glued on the back. It's very difficult to get off. Other than that, I mean, the other portions of the English manual are not bad. It's, like I said, very easy to use, but ignore the applications and do yourself a favor if you don't want to spend a lot of time installing, uninstalling, which I did, like 5 or 6 different apps. Now, as far as music, so there's a play, pause, track navigation. If I pause there in the center, and then I've got track navigation on either side. A little button on the bottom, that's my volume, plus and minus. That's at maximum volume, 16. Little speaker here. So actually pretty impressive considering what it is. So you can use this for your phone calls, your music playback things, and it's nice to be able to look down and check and see an email or a text message pop up and decide if you want to actually pick up your phone and view it, and not have to pick up your phone and view it unless you want to. So overall, just an impressive little device for the price you pay. Good battery life that I'm observing so far. Doesn't really do the 33-foot Bluetooth typical range. It's probably more in the, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 25 depending upon instructions. So let's just call it about 20 feet. But you're watching your phone, generally stay close to your person. So you're not going to have too much distance in most cases. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot else to say about it. I want to try to fit everything in. Hopefully I haven't went over my time. And thank you for watching.